How are we doing today? Okay, so I am glad that you are here on the video. What I want you to do is I want you to use this video as notes. So essentially just kind of follow along and copy down what I'm doing on this video. You will notice that the video is kind of on the right-hand side of the page right now. As you are following along with the notes, you can move the video down the page and move it next to like the problem that you're actually inking and recording and writing down. So that'll help you. Put on headphones so that please put on headphones so that you know it's just easier to follow along. All right, let's do this. So a little reminder, pause this. Let's have you pause the video right now and try this problem on your own. Did you pause the video? Did you pause the video? Did you pause the video? Great, you paused the video. Okay, so wait, did you pause the video? Good, good. You paused the video. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So now we want to isolate the variable. And we want to dig out the stuff around that variable. Right now we have the plus, we have this times 3, and we have this divide by 3. Now the divide by -3 is grouping the rest of the expression. So we will get rid of the divide by 3 by multiplying by 3 to get rid of that grouping so that we can approach the problem a little bit different. So -3 times 21 is going to be -63 today equals, then we have the stuff on the top because these two things canceled. Now we can solve from here. -6 minus 6, -69 equals 3x. Divide by 3, and we get our final response as x being negative, 23 today. Fantastic. Okay, sounds great. We're going to skip this one. Okay, and we're going to go to the next one. Today we are talking about literal equations. Literal equations meaning equations with more than one variable. So part of the important thing for us to do is to treat the equations very similar to how we treat regular equations. We identify where the variable is that we want to solve, and we dig it out. We get all the stuff away from it so that we can isolate it by itself. So right here, for example, we want to solve for m. M is right there, right? So we ask ourselves, what is actually happening to n or m? It is, we have this times by 2, and then we have this minus 5n. We can view the 5n just like we view minus 5, okay? Except we bring the n with it, okay? And we need to be cognizant of the fact, as we simplify after we do that, are they like terms? Meaning, can we even combine them? Can we add and subtract them at that point, okay? So remember, if you get confused, and you, with your organization, draw the line, it'll help you. So now we know where the m is. The m is right here, and we want to dig that out. We're not going to do the times 2. We're going to do this minus 5. We're going to reverse that. So instead of minus 5n, we're going to add 5n to both sides because we're solving for m. Okay? When we do that, this makes 0. Okay? And on the left side, we are left with 2m equals. Now we have this expression. Those are not like terms, so we cannot combine them. So we are going to just rewrite it as such, 15 plus 5n. And now we're really tempted to go ahead and combine those, but we can't because they're not like terms. So we're just going to leave them. Our goal is to get m by itself. Since that is our goal, we're just going to simplify the stuff on the other side as best as we can. If we can't simplify it, we're just going to leave it. Okay? Okay. So now here we go. We have 2 times m, which means we're going to divide both sides by 2. And it's actually, we're dividing that whole other side on the right hand. We're dividing that full right hand side by 2. So it's like we divide all of the terms by 2. Those cancel, make 1. and we have m equals 15 over 2 plus 5 over 2n. Now, if that didn't make any sense, if you had a tough time understanding that, rewind it, listen to the explanation again, listen to the reasoning for why I've decided to make the decisions I made on this particular problem, okay? Okay, let's go to the next problem. Here we go. We are solving it for C. So let's identify where C is. Right there. We want to dig that out. We've got two things that are happening. I dropped my stylus. Two things that are happening to C. We have this 3b plus, and then we have the 5 times C. We have to dig out that C, so we're going to do reverse order of operations. We're going to get rid of the 3b first by reversing the sign. It's plus 3b, so we're going to subtract 3b to both sides. Subtract 3b to both sides, which gives us 5c equals, now we look over on the right-hand side. Can we do 15 minus 3b? Are those like terms? Those are not like terms, so we're just going to rewrite them down below. We're just going to rewrite them down below, and we can't combine them. So we're just going to leave them. Okay. Now we look back and we find C again, and we say, how do we get that by itself? Reverse order of operations. So right now it's 5 times C, so we're going to divide by 5. And if we do it to one side, we have to do it to the whole other side. And so we get C equals negative 3 divided by 5. We're just going to, you can type that in your calculator and you'll turn it back into a fraction. You'll get negative 5/3 or 3/5. 15 divided by 5 and we get 3. And we leave it just like that. And that is our solution to that equation for C. If that didn't make sense, if your head's spinning, watch this again. Did you watch it again? Do you understand it? If you don't understand it, maybe ask somebody around you what the heck I was talking to about. Okay? All right, let's go ahead here. Again, let's look at number 3. Let's identify where the variable is that we're solving. We're solving for n. So we're going to identify n. It's right there. Then we're going to draw our line. We're going to do reverse order of operations. So get rid of all of the other stuff around this. So we have times 8, and we have this plus 4p. We're going to subtract the 4p to both sides, and we wind up getting, I'm going to write the variable stuff first, 4p plus 24 on the left-hand side. Then on the right-hand side, we have 8n. Again, change the sign to move it from one side to the other side. Now we need to get rid of this times 8 on the n because we're solving for n. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. That's another way to show that we're dividing the whole thing by 8. So we're going to think negative 4. I'm going to write an intermediate step here. Negative 4 over 8p plus 24 over 8. And we're going to simplify that. Okay, that makes sense. So we're going to simplify that. Negative 4 over 8 is going to be negative 1/2 p. 24 over 8 is going to be 3. So we get n equals negative 1/2 p plus 3. Pause it if you don't understand that. Rewind it. Listen to it again. Do another one, number 4. Maybe try this one on your own before you do it. So pause the video. Did you pause the video? Did you pause the video? You paused the video. Great job. So now when you try it, now compare it with what we're going to do here as a team. So we're solving for y, so we're identifying where that is, and now we're going to dig out the rest of the stuff. So we have the 5 times 5, and we have this plus or minus 4x. So we're going to subtract that. It's a plus 4x, so we're going to subtract 4x from both sides. That cancels over here. We get negative 5y equals negative 4x minus 8. We're going to now divide by negative 5 because it's negative 5 times that. So we get y equals negative 4/5 x plus 8 over 5. And can we reduce 4/5? Negative 4/5? No. Can we reduce 8 over 5? No. So that is our answer. Wonderful. Nice job. Keep it up. Let's go to the next one. Here we go. A little bit different. We got a little bit of a bigger mess going on. Why don't you give these a try before I get to them. Give these a try before I get to them. So pause them, try it, play it, check your answers, correct your answers, but listen to my beautiful songbird voice as an explanation. Okay, so here we go. We're going to find where K is. Right here, we have a +3 and we have a divide by 8. So we need to get rid of those two things. So right here, we're going to multiply by 8 because the divide by 8 is grouping that. So we're going to do 8 times 5, which is 40 today. So we get 40J equals K plus 3. Ooh, we can draw that line if that helps us. And then we're taking out the K. So we're going to subtract 3. And we cannot combine 40J and 3. So we're going to leave them 40J minus 3. And that becomes our answer. Again, pause it, rewind it, hear the explanation again. Let's go ahead and do number 6. Solve for T. So we identify where T is and we solve it. So we dig that out. So we're going to do minus 4R. And I'm going to write that first. So negative 4R plus 12 equals 3T. Again, we are solving for T. So we're solving for that. It's 3 times T. So we're going to divide both sides by 3, which gives us negative 4/3 R plus 4. And that's going to equal T because 12 over 3 is 4. Super job. Okay, do we have some more problems? We have some more problems on the notes before you get to the homework. Whoops. All right, here we go. Now we're going to solve for Q. So identify where Q is. It's right there. And we got to dig it out. Now we have two things going on. We have a grouping symbol, this times 2. And we have this minus 5 right now. So we need to get rid of that grouping before we can dig out the Q. So I think a lot of y'all would probably see multiply by 2 first. So let's do that. So you get 2Q minus 10R equals 10. Again, identify where the Q is and what we need to do to get rid of the stuff around it. So we're going to do add 10R, add 10R. So we get 2Q equals 10R plus 10. We can't combine those because they're not like terms, so we're just going to write them next to each other. It's okay. We're going to divide both sides by 2, which means we're going to divide all the parts on the right-hand side by 2. So we get Q equals 5R plus 5 because we've got 10 over 2 that we need to do, and we have another 10 over 2 that we need to do. Okay? Pause the video, go back, listen to the explanation. Next problem, solve for Y. Now this one is difficult. It's difficult because you notice how the grouping symbol is right out front and our Y is also right out front. We have something times. We have something times Y. In order to get rid of, so if you were to go here and do this, right? This is not the right way to do it because you'll notice once you do that, you get 2 Y's over there and then it's really hard to get it by itself. So instead, when we get to this point, oh man, we can't really combine those two like terms. That's really confusing. So we need to backtrack to see if we can do it from back up here. Pay attention to what operation is actually getting done there. It's Y times 4 plus X. So in order to get rid of all that stuff on the right, we can divide by that stuff because that's going to divide out and make 1. And check out what's left after we do that. Z equals, over here on the left, it's getting kind of funky, so we're just going to leave it, equals Y, and then we get it by itself. It's because we reversed that operation, that times Y, so we divided it. We divided all of that other stuff. It's similar to how you would do a problem like this. If this was like Y times 10 and you wanted to solve for Y, you divide by 10, right? You get Z over 10 equals Y. Well, notice instead of 10, it's just it's a weird, more extreme expression over there to get rid of. All right. Hope that helped. There's the notes. You have a homework assignment. There will also be a video for that homework assignment, but I want you to try the problems first and then correct your work using the video. Don't use the video as notes, please. Try it first. Get something good down. Make your best guess. Talk with the people in your groups in class, and then give it a go. All right. We'll see you in a bit. Peace.